The first thing you do in every presentation is analyze the audience. We know this. Analyze, analyze, analyze. And right there next to it is finding a topic. Now that you know your audience, you kind of start thinking about what you can present. But whenever they said present something, you've got to figure a way to narrow it. So today I'm going to help you find, or we're going to talk about 4 things you can do to find a topic and then a simple way to narrow it. Now, the first thing you do is think about your hobbies. Hobbies and interests. So if I'm interested in music, so it's finding just topics about, because that's where the passion. If I'm asked to give a speech about why Coke is better or Pepsi's really a great drink, I'm probably not gonna like it because that's not my hobby, passion, or interest. It ain't none of them. But if you ask me about what I'm interested in, such as, I don't know, swimming, which I do pretty much every day. So another thing to do, the second thing to do is brainstorm. And brainstorm is where you just throw out every idea. Just don't even worry, just write it down. And we're gonna brainstorm for 5 minutes. Anything goes.
Wait a minute, did you say anything?
Anything.
Anything?
Yes, anything.
Anything, because you can narrow that list down later. Say you think of 45 things, just anything. If I'm brainstorming, I need to show people how to do something. Let's see, show them how to make a chain mail, show them how to mail a letter, open a car, pet a cat, make a woman happy. Yeah, that's not a good one. Would never work. The third thing you do is current events. That's right. Current events. What's going on in the world right now? So what's going on in the world right now today is May 27, 2021. Is not the same as what happened 5 months ago. 10 years ago, I just come off the ambulance. So things change, and current events are a great way to find a topic. Number 4, things that you're expert on. So my thing is I know a lot about mental health and communication, and especially the effects on our first responders. Hence, no one left behind, and that's for our police, fire, and EMS. And that's the thing, I'm going to stay in that lane because these are things I know and that I have. Once again, it's all about the passion. It's about those things. Now that we have a topic, we got to figure out how to do it. It doesn't matter what method you use, whether you use a hobby or interest, a current event, whether you brainstorm, whether you use your expert knowledge. You've got to understand how long. How long do you have? And that's an important thing to do. Because if you have 7 minutes, you're not going to be able to tell them about the history of the world. You may be able to tell them about one little area. And so you got to think, okay, what can I do? But even with that area, there's still a lot of stuff to talk about. And so, great. So we're going to do a demonstration speech. Now we're going to talk about the history of the world. And we're chosen the Paleolithic area. I don't know anything about it. I'm just making all this stuff up. But think about it. Here's history of the world. Here's Paleolithic. Now we're going to talk about animals. Well, animals that lived in the Paleolithic area, that's a lot of different animals. So we can narrow it down even further to say mammal predecessors. And that may narrow it down to not 10 or 20 out of thousands of animals. But now we have 10 or 20. Now then we're going to say, well, we're going to net primates. In other words, the people that we evolved from, if you believe in that type of thing. That's very specific. Now, but you can get too specific and say, we're going to talk about Joe Bob, the caveman who lived in that cave and had those paintings, opposed to Joe Bob, that caveman who lived over there and wore blue. See, those are things to do. You can get too narrow. The nice thing about this is Hayakawa's ladder of abstraction. And what it allows us is to go from like human, which is highly abstract, to Britney Spears, which is pretty specific. And we find where we want to go in there that allows us to have the most information to fit our time. We can go up and down however we want. And that's what's so great about this whole ladder abstraction idea. See how we can kind of do that? And those are the simple steps to find a topic and narrow a topic. Remember, hobbies and interests, current events, brainstorming, and being an expert. And then when we narrow it, we think about the time we have to do it. We think about the audience, especially whenever we think about who we're going to reach. And that's how we can help create a great presentation.